Well, good evening. I hope you got outside today because tomorrow's going to suck. Today we had only a Sunday. There was some jet junk at times, some cirrus around, particularly in the morning. And then as we got toward the early afternoon, we had a period of mostly sunny skies. I did go out there and take full advantage of it, obviously, checking out some pines while I could. You see, we did have a nice blue sky for a little bit this afternoon. Um, but we do have some thicker high clouds that kind of came in. Then they thinned out a little bit, and the clouds aren't that thick tonight. You'll see here that the thick clouds still kind of off to the west, and that's allowing temperatures to drop pretty substantially right now. And we're getting some radiational cooling, some pretty good radiational cooling out there. Farmingdale is down to 30 degrees. Islip it's 32. 26 at Shirley, and West Hampton is down to 23 degrees. And they could get close to the teens tonight, possibly. Again, a lot of temperatures in the 20s to around 30 right now, unless you're in the city, of course, where it's 37 at LaGuardia, 36 at Central Park, 36 at JFK. And in my alley, it's still 39. So, yeah, a lot warmer in my alley. Yeah, I hate this place. I'm going to do my impression of it. 24 at Ocean County Airport there, so they're getting the radiational cooling in the Pine Barrens too. Must be nice to get that nice cold radiational. It was nice. I was walking around outside, and then I get back to my place, of course. Not only is the air in the alley warm, the laundry exhaust's going, and then when the laundry exhaust stops, I smell incense. So, yeah, I can't get fresh air. It's horrible, man. So, anyway, we have winter weather that is mainly off to the north and west. This will not be affecting our area at all. We won't be seeing any snow tomorrow. It's just a whole lot of rain. And if we go ahead and look at our satellite, you can see this big storm coming, and then there's a cold front right there. So if we look at our weather map here, you'll see there's that big storm, and then drier air in the that we'll get into a little bit later. And if we pan out here on this, you'll see again all the winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, especially up north for the snow. But other than that, you can see there's plenty of cold air around. In a lot of places below freezing here. So this storm, we're going to see this storm affect us tomorrow with a whole lot of rain. So if we obviously, you can see they've got briefings for the interior, but tomorrow we're going to basically be dealing with rain. And we'll go over our climatological report. Obviously, their monthly climatological report is also out. So we'll go over that after we're done with talking about the storm. But let's go here. Islip high of 46 today and a low of 36. Right at average, even though the high was, because it canceled each other out, the high was 3 degrees below normal, but the low of 36 was 3 degrees above normal. And we are in a new month now, December. And so we'll go over November's statistics after we talk about the storm for tomorrow. Looking at the radar, and you can see all that snow over here, and a lot of snow up in the Great Lakes, and then heavy rain, showers, and even some thunderstorms. And we're going to be having the rain part of this storm for us tomorrow. So let's go and look at the models here for tomorrow, and we'll just kind of zoom in on our area for a little bit, just give you a general idea of what's going to be happening. Again, that high moves away, and we have heavy rain throughout much of the day. Instead, really heavy rain. Looks like the really heavy rain might go over the Jersey Shore, maybe part of Suffolk County. You can see that low right there, and then that kind of moves away by tomorrow night, and better weather for Wednesday. We're just covering the next 24 hours because of tomorrow night. We'll have to go over the rainfall totals. So let's look at speaking of rainfall totals, we'll first start with the European, see if anything's changed with that. You can see how the low kind of really gets tight, and the coastal low really intensifies there. Total accumulated precip still showing 1 to possibly 2 inches. We've dialed it back a little bit. But we have a pretty strong, again, coastal storm, and you can see all the moisture that it's pulling up from the, actually, if I go to the CONUS view just for a moment. You see the moisture. It's definitely tapping into some of that tropical moisture, so plenty of moisture. Dark greens, that's plenty of water in the air, and that's going to help produce a lot of rain. Let's go to the HRRR here. And see, as we go into tomorrow, that rain will start right around late morning hours, I guess. And it's going to last throughout much of the day into the evening. And it won't really taper off until probably after 8 o'clock. Across most of Long Island, that low right there. And then that low pulls away. And you see it does get stronger and maybe creates a little of a pressure gradient. We'll have to see if we have any wind issues with it. Dew points and wind flow. South winds, so that brings in the moisture. And it will bring in the warmer air. And that's why we're not going to have snow here on Long Island. And then the winds shift back to the north and get pretty gusty as we get into Wednesday morning with this storm. And if we look at our temperatures, you'll see again that temperatures are above freezing, and tomorrow will be probably well into the 40s probably for Long Island. I mean, it'll still be a cold rain. And then as we get into tomorrow night, the temperatures drop back into the mid-30s by morning and then back up much colder on Wednesday. Now, as far as tonight's lows go, probably going to see those lows again get into the 20s, and I think maybe even close to 20 or even teens possible in the Pine Barrens with the radiational cooling before the clouds thicken up later. I'm not even going to show the cloud model because obviously we're going to have plenty of clouds around for tomorrow with the rain. So let's see what the HRRR is producing for rainfall for tomorrow. And you can see, again, that's looks like it's dialed it back. It's pushed some of the heavier rain a little off to the south and the east. I still think the general 1 to 2 inches is going to be likely. And then if we look at the snowfall totals, again, this is not our area, but you'll see, again, up to the north and west, it's going to be a decent amount of snow from this. Nothing crippling or anything, but mostly winter weather advisory stuff. But in this particular area where that winter storm warning is, up in the higher mountains, that's where you could see over 6 inches and maybe even a foot at some of those mountains. But again, that's not going to be affecting us at all, so we're not going to be seeing any snow at all. This is the NAM's snowfall, by the way. Of course, a little bit more impressive because the NAM always winds up. That's one of the biases of the NAM. Let's see what the NAM output looks like. And I mean, similar to the HRRR, might start off with a little sucky drizzle in the morning, and then rain starts, like I said, by late morning and lasts throughout much of the day into the afternoon, heavy at times. And then as we get toward, again, maybe it'll move a little quicker. Maybe as you get toward like 6 o'clock, maybe it'll start tapering off in Nassau County. But there could still probably be sucky drizzle around, probably. Probably will be. And that low kind of pulls away. And she's trying to generate a little bit of a band. And NAM's thinking might be a little bit of a parting shot at maybe some snow showers, perhaps, over the... there won't be any accumulation from that. And then it moves away. So let's see what the NAM has for total accumulated precip here. And similar to the HRRR, and this trend seems to be where the heavier rain's going to be. I think Jersey Shore into Suffolk County is where you're going to see your closer to 2 inches amounts, and then Nassau County probably closer to 1 inch amounts. That's what it's looking like right now on these models. Let's go to the HDRPS, which is our next model. We don't have the 0Z in, so we have to use an older model here. And similar trend with the HDRPS as well. So let's look at our storm. And they're really impressive, really heavy stuff here. Look at how heavy that is. But a lot of it's just off to the south there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some thunderstorms in there. But again, this is the total accumulated precip, and you can see the higher amounts, or the real high 2 inch plus amounts, are offshore for the most part. That's where the best conditions are for that kind of thing. And we see that with all the models as well. So let's go to the NAM here for a moment. I don't know if it's got this yet. This will just kind of show you where the thunderstorm threat would be offshore. In that warm sector, man. Again, in that warm sector, because if you're in that warm sector, you can see, look at these dew points getting up to the 70s. There's some pretty tropical air feeding into this. So, although we won't see the warm air, we will see temperatures that are offshore very warm. So this is a very tropical air mass that's going to be brought into this storm and then lifted over that cold air, and that's going to produce all that heavy rain. And if we go ahead, we look at another tool which we could use here. Find it. This kind of shows you where the lift is, where the best lift is here. So the best lift is going to be, again, in that afternoon hour you see here. Right, that's the F-Gen right there. So, and then as you get toward late in the evening, it should wind down. There could still be sucky drizzle around. So that's what we have on our models. I can look at the FV3 as well and see what that has for total accumulated precip. But we're probably going to see a similar pattern on all these. Yeah, heaviest is going to be south and east. So while they get the snow up there, up to the north and west, the amount of liquid falling will be less. So we've gone through all of these models. Let's go to the RGEM. There's one more we can look at, and that's the RGEM. Then similar kind of look. Clouds, again, we'll show you the cloud. Obviously, plenty of clouds tomorrow, and then as you get toward Wednesday, it tends to clear out. And we'll again talk about that more tomorrow night. Let's go to the windy.com and just see if wind is an issue again and I think that it would tend to be more of an issue. You can see as we get toward the evening, the winds start picking up. Gusts 30, but that's not wind advisory, but it will certainly get windier by the evening. And then, but nothing really damaging. I don't see anything damaging on this. One tool we can use, though, is visibility. Kind of show you that even after the rain ends, there could still be some sucky drizzle around. You start seeing that green. That could be sucky drizzle right there on the edge, all right? Let's go to Ventus Sky and see what that one looks like as far as the wind gusts. And I don't think we'll see anything too crazy on that either for tomorrow here. Yeah, I don't see anything too crazy. The stronger winds are way offshore. This is where, in that warm sector, this is where things could get pretty crazy. That's way, way offshore, though, for tomorrow. But in that warm sector, those conditions look pretty bad. But for us, we're not going to see anything crazy here with the winds looking like. But that warm sector looks pretty impressive. That's probably an LLJ. If this track of the storm was a little different, boy, we'd be in this LLJ and we'd be having a lot of issues. And that is definitely an LLJ for sure. If we go here, let's see. Oh, yeah, there's an LLJ right there. You can see it. Yep. So you can see the LLJ in the warm sector. So very, at sea, he's going to have pretty tropical, like, what an LLJ is, but warm, humid, and very windy type of deal. So yeah, could be quite bad offshore. But as far as us goes, no coastal impact. It's mainly just going to be a lot of rain tomorrow for tomorrow. So let's now go look at those climate reports. See how how October turned out at Islip. So we'll go to the monthly climate report for Islip for November. And the average maximum was 55 degrees, 55.0 degrees. The normal is 53.6, so we're 1.4 degrees above normal there. However, the average minimum of 37.2 was 0.4 degrees below normal of the average minimum of 37.6, probably owing to a lot of good radiational cooling at night, which gives us a mean of 46.1, which is just 0.5 degrees above normal of the 45.6 that we would normally see. Rainfall, 2.72 inches. That is below the normal of 3.41 inches by about 0.69. So still below normal for precipitation for Islip for November. And we will look at a few other stations here as well. Just Islip. Excuse me. On JFK, actually across the board, just 0.2 degrees below normal. So fairly close to normal at temperatures, where they weren't below normal, but they're fairly close to normal. but with below normal precipitation. That seems to be the trend for the month of November. We'll just go ahead and look at the New York City climatological report as well. And again, New York City coming up at Central Park being 0.8 degrees below normal. So you seem to always have a bigger anomaly, or a full degree below normal on the high, the average high for November. And we will go ahead and we will look at one more here for New Jersey. Newark. Newark had a Newark was of course warm spot. Newark was 0.4 degrees above normal. So yeah, but generally speaking, we're fairly close to normal for the month of November. Temperatures with below normal precipitation. So that is going to wrap things up tonight. Again, expect a rainy day tomorrow, and unfortunately, we will be having to deal with a lot of probably. It's just going to be wet throughout the entire day for those of you hoping that it would dry out in the evening. I don't think that's going to happen because we still have some sucky drizzle around. So there'll be sucky drizzle behind us. It's going to take a while for things to dry out. So prepare to be stuck indoors all day tomorrow for this all-day soaker. Anyway, thank you for watching, and good night.